What's up, guys? Coach Shine here, coming at you with another live. In today's conversation, we are going to get into some very hot topics. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to come on in as I ground this space. What's up, Smith? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Welcome in. Okay, and for the record, I just want to say this is not your average business coach, okay? This is not your average business coach, okay? I believe that once you define your actual purpose, your specific lane, your specific thing that you specialize in, it makes it easier for you to create a lifestyle. Okay, I often hear people talk about building a brand, building a movement, but what I found is that coaching is a lifestyle, and business coincides, right? And so when it comes to us reaching new levels, expanding, and it was so beautiful how expansion can look like creating multiple streams of income. Expansion can be creating multiple ways of getting paid and receiving payments. And to me, it's like when you understand how to actually structure your coaching business in a way where you can have a centralized location or place or thing that makes you money from everything. Okay, I'm looking at just my own structure, my systems, and my strategy, and how it's being constantly refined and upgraded. And I'm just so excited because we often think that when we're going through certain experiences that may be uncomfortable, that, things could be going wrong, or did we do something wrong? But I am someone who look at it like, this is the resistance necessary for me to grow. This is the resistance necessary for me to expand. This is the resistance necessary for me to actually rise to my next level. Okay. And now, one of the things I've realized as well is, like, when you are in your process of rising into a new level or stepping into a new thing, you can feel the shifts. You can feel them in how you may be called to rest more. Welcome in, Tip. Welcome in. How you may be called to actually pay more attention to your body cues and what it is that you need. And I think the beautiful thing about it is knowing that you honoring what it is that you know you should be doing, right? But doing it in a way where you understand that even though you've gotten that idea, even though you've gotten that vision, and yes, you may have taken the first step, that it's no need to be hard on yourself if you don't complete it all in one session or in one day. That you have to allow the maturation process to happen naturally, meaning things naturally unfold. Like when you're doing certain tasks, have you noticed how you can be so excited and pumped to get started, right? And you've probably put in certain bits of it and put in certain amount of effort, and then after a while you feel like, okay, I've reached that point, I've reached that limit, right? And then you have to kind of step away. So this is where you have to look at business in a way where you have to create space, right? Creating space allows for clarity. It allows for the seeds that you've planted to actually grow. It allows for you to actually find balance in your work and in your life. It allows for you to go do something else that you could be working on, or something else that you can enjoy, or just something that, may be self-soothing or self-nourishing to you, that isn't always business related, right? And so it's beautiful just to witness kind of the journey and the process from day to day. And I think about how each day literally take care of itself. Each day you're giving ideas, you're giving new revelations, new insight, new things to help you to move things forward. So if you really look at it, the thing that I found to be most important, and I don't care how long you've been in business, I don't care how long you've been an entrepreneur, I don't care how long you've been a hairstylist, I don't care how long you've been teaching classes or creating courses, this still remains true, is that mentorship is how you actually grow. Mentorship is important. Mentorship is how you get to the next level. That is the base. That is a fact. That is 100% how you continue to grow beyond your comfort zone. So when I hear people saying, oh, I'm good because I've already created a course, or I've already created this and that. But I'm like, okay, but do you have a mentor though? Do you have a mentor though? Because if you don't have a mentor, then we have to start course correcting that to be sure that you get inside of a mentorship that aligns with your values, with your goals, with the things that you know that you want to achieve personally, and then getting the mentorship that you know will challenge you. That you know will challenge you. See, a lot of you guys are getting mentorship for the vibes, for the feel, for the energy. And I have often heard people say to me that it is work involved when they're working with me, right? And so I want to just kind of set that realistic expectation, because I don't want people to get the idea that mentorship should be easy, because that's not true. There is no relationship dynamic on this planet that you can ever say has been easy. And I love this question. Tip says, how do you ask your mentor for more? Okay, Tip, so let's dive into this question, because it's like when you have a mentor that you feel is not challenging you, and that's the thing, right? I feel that's where you have to start evaluating what needs to change for yourself. Because yes, you can start asking questions to your mentor, meaning, seeing what it is you think they can't see, right? Because you have to understand that you are also in the dynamic. So if there is something that you think could be improved, I would say give feedback, share more insight on what that is or what that looks like. And also, think about the time span. Like, how long have you been with that mentor? See, I found that if you haven't been with a mentor over a long term, meaning, 6 months, a year, 2 plus 3, 4, 5, over a extended amount of time, then you have to also go through the deepening process, right? So a lot of times mentorship will transform as you grow and develop, because how you came into a container or a mentorship or a dynamic is not going to be the same as you actually being in the process. And I think that's when you see the what do you call it, the shiny object syndrome, or the process that feels like the excitement may be wearing off. I think mentorship matures you when you can deal with the boredom, when you can deal with the parts that are more not always so rah, right? Like, that's when you can go through this depth with your mentor, if they're skilled, if they're someone you want to, continue to develop with, but in a way where you can see the dynamic between you and your mentor can strengthen, because you guys will go through certain things together. Like, I look at mentorship as you doing life together with your mentor, right? Like, you guys are going through experiences, and then you guys come together, and your mentor is able to say, hey, this is what I've discovered. This is what I found. This is what's worked for me. What is something you're navigating? And, and you can see those parallels. You can see those timelines kind of similar. And that's how you can correlate a connection, right? And that's how I see mentorship in my mastermind. It's like the development over time. Like, yes, we're going to get to the strategy. Yes, we're going to get to the systems. But we're also going to get to actually personal life, personal things we're navigating, our mindset, the mental work, the stories, the trauma, right? And I feel like, oftentimes, your mentor can activate you, and I use that word activate because oftentimes it reveals or shows up as a trigger, right? And when you're triggered by something, when something triggers you, it's revealing some kind of trauma. It's revealing some kind of hurt, some kind of pain. And so your mentor should be able to guide you by being trauma informed. And this is why this is important as well, having a trauma informed mentorship, because that's where you get to see the real cultivation of who you can become, right? When you can rise to the occasion, when you can work through the traumas, when you can work through the mindset blocks and the things that are getting in the way of you showing up how you see yourself, right? And so this is where I said that, because a good mentor is like a good parent, right? A good mentor is like someone that can hold your hand and guide you and nurture you through those pain points that that you haven't been given before. You know what I'm saying? So you can ask more from your mentor by being more, by showing up more, by asking more questions, by you really, leaning into those spaces and into those sessions with your mentor in a way where you are participating. Because I wouldn't want people to come into mentorship with me and not contribute, right? It wouldn't make sense. Like, you got to get the full value out of your experience. And so I would like to ask you now, Tip, like, what more do you feel you're needing? Like, when you're asking for more, like, what you feel is missing? Can you sense and feel into that for yourself to see, like, what angle is it? Is it you're needing more business strategies? Are you needing more nurturing? Are you needing more guidance, support? What area do you feel you're needing that mentor to show up for you in? And so a good mentor is very well-rounded. As you guys can see, like, when I first started this live, I said, I'm not your average business coach, because I've had so many different experiences. I'm well equipped in so many different areas that I can't just be boxed into us just saying we're talking about business. No, we're going to get to the nitty gritty of who you are, what has transpired in your past, what is holding you back, and what can we do now to help you move forward. Because as a mentor, I'm always going to show you what's possible. I'm always going to show you what's ahead, but we also have to get there by addressing what has already been done and what has already happened. So it's a process, you know. It's like no bypassing. It's just you really, you know, submerging yourself in the experience. And then you can't say like, hey, I want close relationships and close dynamics when you're not willing to be open and close with a mentor, you know, because a mentor is that place where you should feel safe, where you should feel seen and understood on a deeper level. And she says, I feel that intentions are good, but they get overwhelmed and then shut down when you need them. Okay, so that's definitely something to provide feedback on. I don't know how or if you've communicated that before, because I know as a, you know, with the clients I work with, like I'm always checking in with them. I'm just that person, right? I'm always checking in with them because I'm very, you know, sensitive. Like I can feel, I'm clairvoyant. I also can know things before they're happening. You know, like I have that kind of connection with my people. And so I feel like, you know, if they're shutting down on you, then you actually may not be able to get what you may need from them, because what that tells me is that they don't have the capacity, right? Because a shutdown means their nervous system is not expanded enough to even expand you. You get what I'm saying? And this is stuff you can sense and feel into, like, you know, overwhelm and shut down. Like those are nervous system cues, right? Those are things that happens as a response to, you know, the nervous system being in overload. But I would say if you notice that that's something or a dynamic that may have expired, or maybe you've outgrown, right? Because you just kind of approach it in many different ways, you know, and I'm trying to work with you here because I don't really know the dynamic with you in this particular mentor. But it's like, you know, if you've outgrown a certain space, then you have to be okay with that too, you know, and saying that they've done the best that they could with what they had at that time, and you've got what you needed. And now it's like, okay, you know, what more do I need to be expanded to? And it's okay. I feel if you need to change mentors, do that. But the goal is to always have a mentor and be in mentorship, right? She says, how do you search for someone more experienced? So here's the thing. To me, it's about you really doing your research, okay? And I'm always looking at the spaces and the rooms that I show up in, okay? And I want you to look at it like this, because I like to expand self-awareness as well. When you showing up in spaces that you've already feel naturally, there's no force, there is no there is no nothing you have to do besides be. Meaning when you show up, there's alignment there. So that's when you know God will reveal those things to you. Now, when you're looking at certain people's page and content, which is why I like to go live, because I'm sensing, I'm feeling, right? But I like to go live because this is how people can actually know who I am. You know, you wouldn't be able to get a gist of someone's personality, how they speak, how they think, how they move, or even feel into their energy if you're not getting them on video. So that's how I would say for people to actually qualify or search for mentors is because the mentors I've actually have and work with, I've always seen them showing up in their authentic expression, being themselves. And that let me know that, okay, this is the mentor for me. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you would search for someone. Like, are you seeing them on live? Do you see live videos, watching their live content? Because reading a post, reading their content is not going to give you that sense of connection. See what I'm saying? So this is why I even tell my clients, if you want to increase your clientele, I don't care if you're a hairstylist, I don't care if you're a makeup artist, I don't care what it is, whatever entrepreneur you are, you should be showing up on video. You should be going live. It's simple. But when I say that to people, it's like, well, I don't want to go live, or I don't have time. It's like there's a lot of those barriers there. There's a lot of those excuses. And I'm like, but that's just a story. You could challenge yourself by showing up. You could show up on live. But so they actually have to be able to navigate and sense and feel into the energy to clear it. Okay? That's what the feminine does. That's what a coach does. That's what a mentor does. They should be able to know how to clear energy. See what I'm saying? There should be a free flow. There should be no blockages. If somebody is constipated, listen, that's not a fun idea, is it? Like, are you able to hold my big emotions? Try them out, test them. Because I can easily see if they don't know how to feel, if they don't have the ability to be transparent and vulnerable, of course they're going to shut down because they're trying to guard themselves. They're trying to protect and hide. And to me, I'm like, I show strength in my weakness. See what I'm saying? I don't mind breaking down. I don't mind crying in a session. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that I'm not just processing it for me. See what I'm saying? So a good mentor will be able to hold that space for there to be more. So that's how it looks. So yeah, so that's some good stuff, Tip. What kind of work do you do? I think I see is this a red? Okay, yeah, this is a red dress, red background. That looks really nice, but I don't know. Are you a hairstylist? What type of business are you into? And then you got to have someone that's skilled in unlocking new levels and personal power too. Like, that's a big thing. Like my mentorship, and if you even click on it and see it, the number key things that it talks about is personal power and energetics. Okay? Because that's what you're navigating in business, in relationships and dynamics. So having someone skilled in personal power and energetics is going to help you show up more powerfully, more energetic, more, you know what I'm saying? And it says, I am in higher ed, but also starting a travel advisor business. Awesome. I love that. So yeah, so you do some education and travel advisement. So I love it. You teaching, you're sharing, and I guess I would like to know, like, what do you think needs to improve? Is it you getting more clients? What is like your key struggle, or what do you think you need support in the most? See what I'm saying? Because to me, even when I see it or read into that, it still doesn't give me you. It doesn't give me your brand. Um, it doesn't show me, let's see, what can I say? It doesn't show me your specialty. Like it says higher education, but that could be anything. And then travel advisor, but that can be anything. So it's like, how do you make yourself stand out in the essence of, okay, if you're a travel advisor, do you do short term vacations? Like, what is that experience like? Like, what is that higher education experience like? Because people want to know their transformation or their result. They want to know, okay, like for example, my mentorship, Deeper Than Beauty. Like, you can sense, okay, yes, we're into beauty. We love beauty. I'm gonna add you in the second tip. But we're gonna go deeper than beauty, because the beauty is what you see, but the beauty is also something deeper. What's more inside? What's something that back? So that's what the mentorship is about. It's just revealing the layers, the depth. What's up, Tip? Welcome in. Welcome in. I can't see you, but if you can hear me, let
Yes,
me know.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Okay. So I guess my question is, because I am starting newly. I was in I just started in higher ed maybe in the last 5 years. So I was introduced, of course, to the travel agent business through one of my mentors. But at the same time, it's more or less you're still building. And so, with that aspect, that's what I'm like, is that truly a mentor? When you start talking about someone who can actually advise, who continues to grow, but I don't think they know how to impart that information as far as in that business. And so with me, when I look at it and I try to plan these excursions, most of the time I do a lot with, well, what started me was my study abroad students. So I started seeing them and I always travel. I always go. I've been to like 14 different countries. And, I wanted to bring that to our space because we're not one who will get out of the US. And so I always try to tell some of my students, get your passport. That's the first thing. Try to unlock that. And then you make your list. Okay, if I'm in this, say for instance, I'm in this major, how will this benefit me? And how can I bring this to underprivileged or underserved communities, countries, that kind of thing, and start thinking from there. So with all of this, that's what I'm saying. I like that aspect. I love what I do. It's not like it's hard, but it is something that I think I put more effort into to than most, because when I try to plan, I want you to have the full experience. And so when I'm talking to my mentor, and they're giving me strategies, and for the most part they do work, but I don't want it to be always just surface. We're going to party, we're going to do this. How do you get someone who may be on that deeper level, who can provide more and say, okay, well, let's look at it from this. Let's start planning from this. And so I get the part that you want to piggyback sometimes and say, okay, well, if you have these 20 people going, so how about you look at it like this and they can have this experience? But that's not what I intended for them to do.
So are you looking for those experiences to kind of have, like when people come together, there's more like more talk pieces or pieces to connect or heal or share experiences or have conversations?
Correct. I mean, all of the above. And the reason why I say that is like the ones I have done, I usually work with either older groups or younger groups, like the college age or either older, like church missions, that kind of thing. And so that's what I was trying to explain because that's kind of my niche. Whereas she's not the same. So that's why I said, how do you tell that was the reason why I asked, how do you tell your mentor you want more? I understand, yeah, it's easy to get your friends to go to Vegas. But at the same time, anyone can do that. So in this world, you can book your own trips, but that's not what I want to do.
Okay, I think you're helping me help you help us.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was sensing. I'm like, okay, a travel advisor seems so broad, and I
Hmm.
felt like it didn't speak enough to who you were
Yeah.
on a soul level. So the reason why I was able to even say it in that way of what it is you're trying to look for
Hmm.
and get out of a mentor or advisement is because I've done those type of experiences. I've done
You're
retreats, and
right.
that's what I would call it. If
Hmm.
you, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like I would say, a retreat activates something in somebody's
Right.
mind to say, hey, I'm coming here for an actual experience, a solace where I'm going to leave transformed. They're going to get some kind of day-to-day itinerary or things that they know will bring people together to heal and do things and have fun, but it's for a purpose. So
Right.
I think when you set your travel business up in a way where it's worded, the terminology is properly communicated, or the messaging,
Hmm.
you become more, that allows you to get more.
Right.
Get what I'm saying?
I do.
So yeah, I think that's what it really boils down to. Like,
Hmm.
what is your need?
And that's
What is
the thing. That's why I feel like when you were talking about it, it's just hard because I've known this person for a while, at least half of my life. So it's just like, okay, how do I say I think I have outgrown this piece? And how do you go about searching for someone who is actually in tune?
so this is where you get challenged by me as someone who's a mentor in general.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she's perfect. She's fine.
Hmm.
You've grown from that point. So now you can bring, if she's going to continue to be a mentor, if you're
Hmm.
saying, okay, I'm done, I would say at least try, because the
Hmm.
effort matters. If there's a connection or a friendship there that you feel you value,
Hmm.
then I would continue working at it. And that's the
Hmm.
part that we can deepen the relationship as we
Right.
grow, even as a client mentee, by saying, okay, I want to kind of shift in this experience. So it just takes a conversation, kind of like we're doing now,
Right.
but of course you have more words to bring to
Hmm.
the match. But it's like letting them know where you are, what you've been thinking, your ideas, what you're feeling, and then allowing them to kind of respond to that. And then based on their response, will determine if they are able to even navigate. Get what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
that would be a healthy way to approach it, of
Hmm.
like, you know, what can I do here? What can we do different? And if somebody doesn't want to grow beyond what they are, then that's where you do have to decide that I'm going to just get another mentor, which is fine.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's also healthy. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Everything is all perfect. It's
Yeah.
all perfect. Yeah.
Well, I do thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome. I'm thankful that
Okay.
you showed up today. So I'm going
Okay.
to check you
Thank
out.
you.
I love
Okay.
to travel, so I'll definitely be following.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, guys. So that was beautiful. Let's see if I can. There we go. Oh, wrong one. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see who else we have in here. Welcome in, Gabby. Welcome in. Welcome in. So, all right, guys. So yeah. So we're talking growth here, expansion. Being willing to get uncomfortable, being willing to, put ourselves out there. And, oftentimes, I've talked about this before, but giving things the space that they need to evolve, to mature, to really navigate it in an effective way, you know. But I'm really excited to have you guys give your input and share more of your journey and where you are, because it allows me to really, show you what is possible, and give you some guidance on what you can do and move forward. Because I believe that, and I often say this, a coach should be leading you towards your future, right? And I'm very future focused. So even when I get people that, want to talk about the past or dwell on the past, it's only so much that I can allow somebody to sit in that. It's like, okay, we've acknowledged it, we've addressed it. So now what's our next step? What is our next step, right? What's the next plan of action? What is the next vision? Because you should be able to see something new, something in a new way, a new perspective that allows you to continue to go on, right? And so that is the beauty of mentorship. That is the beauty, of having someone skilled and that is knowledgeable, and that really can just listen and sense into what is not being said, right? Sense into what's not being said, and then also knowing what needs to be said, you know? So I'm pretty excited to welcome in new mentors, mentees inside of my program to help support you in building your online business, okay? To help you with getting very specific in your brand and what it is that you do and how you do it. And when you have that clarity, when you have that sense of, I can see this really, really clear, it brings about a momentum that is just undeniable, right? It brings about a momentum or movement in the lifestyle that you embody. And I often tell people, when it comes to a coaching business, right? It's a lifestyle because it's who you already are. What are you already embodied in? What are you naturally good in? What are you naturally able to do, right? What are you able to take people through? That process, that journey. So you showing up as you see yourself, right? And then allowing those who are in alignment to connect with that, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So I encourage you guys to really just see how you going live more, you talking about your business more, you promoting yourself more, you sharing your insights, your guidance, your visual, and just giving how that helps you in your work. Okay. So Rise to Millions is where it's at, guys. So many of you are joining, so you can get inside. That's where I am coaching you in your $1 million year for all of 2025. You will get all the replays if you coming in at any time of you seeing this. It's all going to be there. But the ongoing coaching sessions will continue. And you will get the strategies, the blueprint, the insight, the money mindset, the millionaire mindset, all of those things inside of Rise to Millions, because I know you guys have a goal of at least touching $1 million, right? Come on now. The goal is to get rich, okay? The goal is to get money. All right, so that's what that course is focused on, that coaching is focused on, is to upping your money mindset, improving your money mindset so we can get these coins, okay? And then we also have the Deeper Than Beauty, of course, mentorship, which is the 6-month program, which you can always renew. But that is where I feel you can get a whole lot of value, because that is where we create your coaching business with everything you need to know from A to Z on how to create a coaching business for yourself. Okay. Taking you through that journey, taking you through that process, because it is a process. It is a process. All right. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been a wonderful live. I look forward to coming tomorrow to share more. Listen, check the link in my bio. I also open up spaces for hair appointments, so you guys can book your hair appointments, as well as you can order your hair extensions, okay? Your wigs, your bundles, order that on pre-sale, okay? Order that on pre-sale. It is available. So DM me if you like to order your wigs, your bundles. I'm here. Book your hair appointments, book your coaching sessions, get inside of mentorship, get inside of Rise to Millions. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.